What is up, Marissa?
Okay,
How
hang
you
on one
doing?
second. My sound just went out.
Dude, I was
Okay.
watching the intro, and all of a sudden I'm
Um,
watching the very beginning, like the first 5 seconds, and I'm looking, and it says 0 viewers. I was like, oh man. And
okay.
then
I'm
all of a
so
sudden,
sorry. My
as
my
soon as the
things just shut
intro
off.
drops, like 13 viewers hit line. I was
Okay,
like,
it should
oh
be
my
back on in a
goodness.
second.
Oh, not even on again. I was just talking to myself.
Okay, hello. I can hear you now. Oh my
Hello,
goodness.
Marissa.
I was like, what
Hello,
the heck?
Christy.
It just shut off on me. Hello.
Hello, William and Denise and Ike and hey, Wade. Russell. We were just talking about you with our guests like that are coming on tonight. So funny. You must have heard your ears burning.
Well, good evening, everybody. Hi. Sorry, I was like, ooh, for a second. I was like, my things just shut off. What the heck?
Right, it's all the overwhelming heat is just melting everything down.
Yes, exactly.
Maz and Steve, hello to everybody that are joining in. We have a wonderful show tonight. Tonight's going to be
Yes,
an
we do. Do 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 do.
interesting show in that we're actually going to be talking about two different things. We're going to be talking about a lightsaber company, and then we're going to be talking about an install company. It's like wax on, wax off. You can't have one without the other, right?
Wax on, wax off. I can't.
So we're going to be
My
talking to a few different people tonight about a few different things, but all
very
in the same
exciting.
shenanigans as usual.
Yes, always the same shenanigans. When are we not doing shenanigans? I have a shirt that says shenanigans.
I need a shenanigan shirt. And mine it says
Old.
shenanigans.
It said old. It was from Old Navy, and it has a clover on it.
Let's see. Somebody is saying, can't wait to see Gary. Yes,
Yeah,
Gary, Kim, and there was one other person. I'm terrible with names. Joe? Was it
Joe.
Joe?
It's my
Gary, Kim,
son's name, so I'm not gonna forget it.
Gary, Kim, and Joe of the Cantina will be with us tonight in just a few minutes. But before all that, tell us what's going on in the nerd news.
All right, so we had Star Wars Celebration this last week, which was
It
really cool.
like it's wrapping up like 2 hours ago.
Yeah, it just happened. And so here's something that we
Wait,
all
wait,
got
wait.
to. What?
Before you show
Yes.
what you're gonna show, did you see they've already revealed where next celebration is gonna be at?
No, I didn't wear.
It's gonna be in London.
Oh, I am not making it to that one.
Come on, we can do it. Kyra Kane
Well,
in 2023, we can do it.
I need to renew my passport.
I love London.
I have never been. I have a friend from London, but I've never been to Europe in general.
Oh man, see,
Um,
this is a good excuse. And see, we can look, see, here, everybody, you need to help blow this channel up. We need to get to like at least 500,000
hey
subscribers
Ryan.
by next year so we can go as media
Oh
and
my
we
goodness.
can cover it that way.
That kind of thing would just make me go like just blow it up. So, but in the nerd news during Star Wars Celebration, they showed us the Andor trailer.
Woohoo!
I this was the one of all the trailers. Hi, I didn't say hi, Ryan. I don't know if you heard that. I did say hi. It is one of the trailers I heard the most about from people. Like,
Really?
so I'm so in that new Rockstars Discord, it was constant like Andor looks so cool and this is so exciting. And I'm honestly, I saw the trailer and I thought that looks really cool.
Right.
So I'm really excited about that. So,
I
right.
feel like Andor, of all the different Star Wars projects that are happening right now, Andor is the one that people don't have expectations for. You know what I mean? Like Rogue One was fantastic. That's one of my favorite of all the movies is Rogue One. But because we already know so much about Luke and Anakin and all these characters, Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, we know so much about them. Andor is one of the few characters that's very fresh. And we can see, a whole different part of the galaxy. And I feel like the whole look of this is even very different. I'm digging it. I'm digging it.
I'm really excited for it. Kind of gritty and fun like that.
Yeah. When is that
Um,
coming out? Do you know?
I think it's next year, June. I'm not 100%, but I think
Mm,
it's next year.
mm.
For sure. The comments might tell us too. Yeah,
And
and
I want to.
they did play. Did they play the Ahsoka trailer? Because if so, I have not seen it yet. There's so much to catch up on. I watched Kenobi and we're almost done with Stranger Things. That's what been my last couple of days have been.
There, if
uh,
you are a Star Wars fan, there has been so much new. I mean, and of course, we expect this at Celebration. They do this, specifically because of Celebration. But there is
yes.
so much new material and content. What was the one? It's very like it's got low rumblings, but I think is going to be super cool. I think it's called Tales of the Jedi. Or
Oh yeah.
did you see that one?
I saw like a headline for it, but I haven't seen like any footage of anything.
So it's going to be more in depth of characters you know and love. Like one is going to be Jedi Dooku and what happened to Dooku to make him fall to
Oh,
the
okay.
dark side. So yeah, they were showing his curved hilt, the same exact saber, but with the blue blade. So excited.
Okay. Okay. Ryan said Ahsoka started filming, but no trailer yet, and that's exciting. Denise said Obi-Wan was amazing. Yeah, spoiler free. I loved it. It felt. My husband and I were talking about it this morning, and said Kenobi feels more like the main, like when you're playing a game and you have the main mission and you have side missions.
Right.
This one, Kenobi, felt like the first main, like real. It felt so Star Wars main mission rather than a side mission, you know.
Right, right, right,
So
right,
that
right.
was we were really excited about it. So I'm just really excited. And so my whole last 2 days I've been watching Kenobi and Stranger Things.
Right.
Which yeah, and so also Kenobi premiered last week, which I know most people are probably seen, which is really cool. It felt a bit John Matt says it felt John Wickish, which is fun. That's
Right.
great. I loved every minute of it. It felt so good, and I love Ewan McGregor, so I love seeing him get back into that role.
Right.
The other thing we have is if you have seen the first episode, Hasbro has now announced that
Well, I guess we
Lola,
should say spoiler alert, right?
well, it's not, I guess it's kind of a spoiler. It doesn't reveal anything about the story, really.
Right.
This is a toy of a child in the show. That's all I'll
Of a
say.
droid in the show.
It's a little droid toy in the show, and it's LO-LA59, and they just call her Lola.
Lola.
So this is going to be for sale. I did not see a release date, but I did put the link to the article in the description below, so you can check out that. And the link to the Andor trailer, if you haven't seen it yet, is also in the description.
Yeah, of
So
course they had that Lola toy ready to go as soon as they dropped. I mean, like as soon as I saw Kenobi, like I started seeing ads for that Lola toy. Which, by
yeah,
the way, I want to say is kind of reminiscent of mouse ears there too, huh? I wonder if that was intentional.
yeah. Oh, Matt says Lola batteries not included. That is the exact thing I thought of when I saw Lola. I was like, that looks like that batteries not included. Tyler, the kid who is a friend of mine. Hello, welcome in. He's a big Star Wars fan as
What's
well.
up? Hey, and I want to apologize to people online really quick. I'm not wearing my adult eyes, so like I'm not gonna be able to see much that is going on in the comment
He's
box.
like this.
I can't see nothing. I can see that stuff is happening in the comment box, so please don't be upset with me if I don't answer directly to something you're saying. Just have Mezzo slap me around and say, "Hey, this is a question for you."
All right. So next we also have our flow of the show for the week,
Woohoo! It's
which is
another
very
new
exciting.
person, right?
Uh, yes, it is.
Dude,
I can't
I
remember the full name. It's 3 different names.
I have to say we've been blessed this last like month. Like every week has been somebody brand new.
Yeah, ever since I joined, it's been someone new every single time. And so thank you so much to
And yeah,
yes,
and just to
to
let you know,
James
we have
Kaiser.
Christian Castro coming back on. He did an interview with us, but his internet got all messed up last time. So Christian Castro will be our flow and our interview in like 2 weeks, I think. 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I don't know
If
when
it's two
exactly
weeks,
when we're
I
recording.
won't be here.
And, oh, I'm so bummed out. You're not going to be here for episode 100.
I know, it's so sad. It's like the perfect number, and I won't be here for it.
Well, I know I got to figure out something. You got to help me plan something special. Even if you're gone, you can we'll get something special going for episode 100.
All right, cool. That sounds good to me. All right, so we do have. So thank you so much. We got a lot of people giving their thoughts about Obi-Wan in the comments, which is cool.
Appreciate
So
everyone tonight.
thank you so much to James Kaiser for the flow of the show for the week. Our producer sent us a very nice video, so enjoy.
Enjoy.
didn't take Lola off. Bye, Lola.
Bye, Lola.
I hadn't removed her yet.
What was that? That was Firesplitter Stewart.
It was an elven fire sword. Is
Oh,
what I was told it was,
so that
which
was
looked really cool to watch.
that was a real sword then. That wasn't like a flame like thing or.
I feel like putting it back on for a second just to see. Let's see. Yeah, that's a sword that's been lit on fire.
Wow.
I'm like, I gotta double check.
But
Because you know how flames can make it look bendy.
Yeah, but like I think what's not appreciated is when you're doing all these, if you were to use like there's those sticks that are meant to be lit on fire and used for that kind of dance, right?
Yeah. And there's James saying if you have to check out I put the channel for that video. I put the link in the description there as well. So if you want to check out Finlay Axesplitter Steward.
Axesplitter Stewart.
Yes, I put the link down in the description, so you guys can check that out later.
Right. What I was saying is, if you know anything about these, like the sticks that they typically would use, I mean, it's different than a sword. It's a different weight. It's a different material. It's gonna spin differently. So, to me, when I see people being able to switch over and light a real sword on fire, I mean that takes a lot of practice and experience. Wow, that was amazing. Thank you, James Kaiser, for another amazing. Woo-hoo!
Wade just said that Gary told me if I didn't watch the show tonight that I wouldn't get any more awesome PCBs. So I'm here under duress, and I can see Gary in our green room in a sense laughing. So Wade, you made him chuckle a good amount.
Hey, whatever it takes to get people tuned in, I'm not above extortion at all.
Everyone's laughing. I think now everyone's like, ha ha ha. All right, so you want to talk about our guest for a minute?
I do. This is going to be a fun one for me, only because I'm going to be learning just as much as you guys are tonight. The way this whole thing came about, and the way we have kind of a double feature, is for my birthday recently passed, and I was getting kind of itchy, and I decided, I have not treated myself for a long time and anything, so I bought myself a saber. But of course, I can't just get anything off the shelf. I have to find something really unique and something that really called to me. So I was just going online and I found the saber. Do you have that picture of the 3 sabers there, Mezzo?
I do.
Oh, I saw these sabers and these just absolutely blew me away.
Coming in.
Especially that yellow one, because it's Kyber Cave yellow. It's already like...
Yeah, it's like the perfect color for it.
It's in our color, but I love the industrial look of this, of the look of like, something somebody would scrap together on the run, a Jedi on the run, putting whatever pieces
like
they can.
MacGyver but way cooler.
Right. I was
way
cooler.
To see
some bubble gum and some, rubber bands and toothpicks holding that together at certain points.
It looks so cool. It kind of reminds me of when you had like those phones that were clear cases, so you could see the workings of it. I think it's really
neat. Or like the Swatch watch, the jellyfish, petroleum jellyfish. Yeah, for those of you of a certain age. Anyways, so that's got me started. I contacted the manufacturer for this. The manufacturer is a gentleman named Kevin in Taiwan. This is from a company called KY Sabers, and he loved the idea of his company being featured, but he was very, very concerned about his English. So he asked me if we could have Gary come on and speak on his behalf. And lo and behold, Gary is with the group that was going to do the install on this saber anyways. I had already contacted Kevin and asked for his recommendations, and he told me the Cantina. So I was like, wow, this all works out perfectly. I get to learn about my saber from beginning to end, about the
That's
whole
really
process.
Cool. That is neat.
And you guys are going to get to learn together with me. So, with no further ado, please give it up for Gary and Kim and Joe from the Cantina. yeah.
Hey guys.
Hey, what's up?
What is going on? We got Mr. Gary in the middle and Mr. Kim on the bottom now, right?
Yep.
Woo! How you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Great. Yeah.
I'm excited to have you guys on. That was such a cool video.
Well, thank you.
And
It's
I'm
fun
I'm
being able
very
to work on Hilts and make something special into it. So it's fun to share it.
So I wanted to start this, and I think we'll start by talking about KY, and then we're gonna end up with you guys. But I feel like that's where this whole Saber story begins. So we'll talk a little bit about KY, and then when we get towards some of the installation kind of questions, I think that'll be a really good time to transition over and
Yeah,
talk
where'd
about
Joe
you.
go?
Joe.
Oh,
Yeah, I
I
don't
think
even see Joe.
he's hiding.
it ran away.
I think Joe got scared.
I'm gonna message him while we're talking.
So tell me what you know about KY lightsabers. They are in Taiwan, is that correct?
Yep. So I met Kevin ordering a hilt from him actually, and we talked a lot back and forth and about he's always wanted to do more than basic installs, add something a little special.
Right.
Joe's trying to turn on his video, by the way.
Yeah, I see him in the comments. I'm like, they're looking at
um,
me, guys. Go ahead.
so we started messaging, and I built the chassis that he loved. Um, and it kind of it transitioned from like, hey, I bought one of your sabers to, can you do one of those for this person, to this person? And then it has kind of turned into the hilt you're buying, like this is actually the prototype here of the
Oh.
first. So this is the first turbine built, and it was actually called the Bumblebee.
Oh.
And it turned into one of those things like, I'd like to have exposed LEDs throughout, and what cutouts do I have to be? So it kind of turned
Right.
into a little bit of working together. But he's the genius behind his sabers. Like, I mean, he creates awesome stuff.
So when these designs are coming together, he's I guess he's kind of looking at the bigger picture of what the saber is like. But I guess it sounds like with you guys, you're able to go in and then go, hey, if you had some cutouts here, we could do lights or like on the opening video you had. And of course, I'm ADD, dude. I'm a sucker for any shiny lights. But when you have those like
Same.
strobing lights, it's almost like Kit going up and down, like when you do those kinds of things, are you able to look at a saber right away and go, "Oh, we could put a bunch of those right there, or this would be a good spot for that, or I could see a
uh,
rotating kyber crystal up here"?
Yes and no.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's what you could fit
Pretty
in.
much.
It's like a puzzle. Think of you have this much room, and you want to fit this much into it.
Right.
And then if there's room left, let's cram as much more as we can into
Right.
That's pretty much the process of it. It's just
Right.
we start with just the basic shape of the chassis. You got the battery, you got the board, you get the speaker, and then there's left. Like, all right, what can we cram in there? It goes there, it goes there, it goes there,
Right.
and then it just goes from there.
Wow. So are you thinking of like materials that you have just kind of sitting around going, oh, a nice little strip would be good there? Or do you kind of like, does it almost
I blame
kill
Kim
you
for
when you
that.
look at the saber?
So
It's also a yes or no, a yes and no to that, because we have created PCBs just because of the space that we found.
Hmm.
It's not, I mean, we had something to start with, and we started making space for it. And like, all right, it leaves a lot of room still on there. So, all right, let's add more.
Right, right. So in the creative process, if somebody is coming to you with a hilt and they're saying, hey, I want you to design a chassis for this, it seems like it could be a very long back and forth process of nailing down exactly what's going to work for the manufacturer, and then also what you as a installer can do, or what you would expect another installer to be able to do.
yes and no.
Everything's yes or no with you guys.
Nope.
It really is. I
Joe
think
got it in the news.
Oh, he's in.
It's the comment he put on there.
Oh, um, so I think a lot of it comes into a lot of the people that we do. Like I don't think Kim would ever call himself an installer, and I would never call myself an installer. And same with Joe, which Joe's, I will say, is the brains behind all of this. He's the guy. He's the guy that brought this all together. But like, yeah, I don't know, Kim. What do you think? Like, where do you start with space and availability and bouncing ideas? Because I think like we kind of give people a little bit of expectation, but they
Right.
a lot of times the people we deal with and the installs we take, so we can't take a lot of installs because we have full-time jobs, and this is just kind of a fun thing for us.
Right.
That they let us kind of run creatively, and we'll see what we can throw in there and say, hey, we're going to jam as much as we can in here for like
Yeah.
as cheap as we can for you.
I mean, that has been a godsend actually for the
Yeah,
people that came to us. It just gave us creative freedom.
it doesn't feel like work then.
Yeah.
And with the three of you, I guess you guys kind of came together like Justice League. But do you feel like do you guys have very complementary work styles, or is it that like, oh, when you want an old Republic kind of a feel, you go talk to Kim, but if you want something, more in the modern age, you talk to like, do you guys have certain styles or things that you're known for, or do you guys just kind of
I
all
do
work
most
together,
of the
try to do
I
as
do
much
most
as?
of the KY hilts.
Hmm.
But other than that, I think we're like kind of the same page bouncing off. I think we talk daily and just hourly and just bounce ideas off each other all day for the last like probably 2 years.
Right, because you guys aren't all in the same location, right? You're in different places, right?
Right.
Yeah, and when
Yeah,
I
I
say
mean,
different places, I don't mean like east side, west side. I mean like different time zones, correct?
Oh yeah.
yeah, I'm just north of Chicago. Kim's in Jersey,
South
and
Jersey. Yeah.
Joe is in South Carolina.
Oh wow, dude, you guys got the whole
Yeah. But that's the
everybody
joy
taken
of the
care of.
Saber community. Like, I think getting into this, there's a lot of cool people that we've all met from all over, you
Right.
know?
Right. So, and going back to that a little bit, I mean, because it's again, I do find that myself very interesting. When I went on my quest for a saber, because I own a saber shop, right? So, obviously, so when I was looking for my personal saber, I went on a search all around the world, and I find that so fascinating with our industry that we can be put in touch with some guy with the garage and a lathe, somewhere in some other continent. It could be, New Zealand. It could be, anywhere really. It's such a fascinating hobby. How did you and KY lightsabers kind of start deciding that you liked each other's
Well,
work?
I
He
have
bought
I
all
have a
his
thing
milk.
from, yeah, I have a thing from KY here about how he got started.
Hmm.
He said he got started about 8 years ago, and he really wanted to make a lightsaber. Star Killer is his favorite, Star Wars character, and he wanted to build a Star Wars a saber. And he went to a Toys R Us actually and saw a bunch of plastic hilts, and he started doing research online. He goes, I could probably make a metal one. So he doesn't actually work the lathe and stuff. So he draws up a design, has a friend that has a lathe, and
Oh.
they do the basic, just like cutouts for the saber for him.
Hmm.
And then he does all the finishing work and the, all the greebles and the, stuff like all the fancy stuff in there and stuff like
Right.
that. So, and makes the chambers and does all that stuff.
Right. Is he a one man operation other than having this buddy that does
Yeah.
the lathe?
Surprisingly, and with how many awesome hilts he does. And that's kind of my favorite thing about talking to him from the get-go was every hilt. I can't think of how many Sith and Jedi Killers, which is probably one of my favorite hilts. um, that I've
Do
done
you
for
happen to
him.
have one of those right there? This Jedi
I
Killer.
have my personal one, a Sith Killer, that I haven't installed. I have my Jedi Killer in the other room installed. But
Yeah.
the awesome thing is they're all unique. Every single one is a hair different, um, which is spectacular. I
Hmm.
mean, not for us installing wise sometimes, but it's a cool. They're handmade. They're not like manufactured hilts.
It's
Right.
not mass
And
produced. Yeah, because we
yeah,
started comparing when I got mine too.
Oh,
So
beautiful.
yeah, when we started comparing, like, hey, you have the chassis for it, and the one he's been using. When I started measuring mine, like, that's not gonna fit quite right.
Right,
Like, all
right,
right, I'll
right,
start from scratch.
right. So does he now for me that one is that's called the Jedi Killer, right? Or is that the
hmm
Sith Killer?
that's a Jedi Killer.
Okay, so when I first went on my little search for my saber that I wanted, that was the first image that I ran across was that saber there. But when I
It's
started
beautiful.
looking into more of his stuff, that was when I came across the T3, which
Yeah.
I believe is, I mean, that's a pre-order. That's a new saber, right?
It's a new saber. So that yellow one I showed you before is actually the prototype, which I think he sent me about 6 months ago, just to make sure it was installable,
Right.
and that our cutouts kind of worked in the same spots, and for he wanted as many LEDs and just lights everywhere. That was his
Yeah.
idea, which worked out perfectly. Um, so yeah, the T3 he's at so it's the turbine he calls it, which he
Hmm.
based off like an engine turbine.
Right,
I got
right.
Um,
one,
there, there's
the
been a
first
couple.
version actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's been a couple of versions.
Hmm.
That's maybe the T2. I have one of the
T1.
T1s
Let's
over
see.
here, which isn't installed. I installed one for
Oh.
Joe of the T1.
It's
Oh,
actually the
okay.
first one I got because it's a turbine,
It's
and
awesome.
it
Right.
gives me a Star Killer feel to it too, and I
And
got
I
double
love
chamber.
how he
Haven't
does
installed it yet.
a lot of the open wiring,
Yeah,
almost like
it's
on the
awesome.
Kylo Ren, how it has that one long wire that goes down, but it just gives it more of an industrial feel to me.
Oh yeah,
His style is very steampunk. Even if like I honestly I think some of his SKs, I have one of his SKs I'm doing for a customer here too. It's just
Ooh.
it's got a particular style to it it's very unique to him.
Right, right,
And it's almost like it's steampunky, I guess is the correct term.
right,
it's exactly
But
like you mentioned. It's like something that Jedi on the Run just put together, whatever he
right,
had on hand.
yeah,
right,
it which is what a Star Killer should be.
Mm.
But
right.
also, I've never seen another one. He made me a Coda as well. It's over there. That's awesome. Which I don't know why he's not selling those because they're fantastic. I can never find a good Coda, external
Right,
Coda. So he just does
right.
awesome work, and it's
Wonderful.
very unique to his style.
Right, right, right. That's absolutely fantastic. If he had, I mean, so he's been producing sabers for 8 years, so he has, I would imagine, a good number of different designs and styles.
I want to say I think the SK and the Jedi and Sith Killers and the Turbine are his main ones, which
Hmm.
he will kind of do. So
Sorry,
I just finished. I'll try and grab it to. I thought I had it here. Oh
sorry,
yeah.
we're on air.
So he will do kind of custom stuff as well. So this is a SK Turbine mashup. Actually, he did.
Ooh,
So if you turn it on, it's got the upper of the SK,
uh,
but it's got the lower fun stuff of the Turbine.
yeah. It seems like he likes the exposed crystal chambers a lot in his
Oh yeah,
designs.
Oh
and
yeah,
he does great with them too. So and it's nice that it comes with the crystal and a good looking chamber as well. You know.
Right, 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 right. It's nice that it, like you said, that it comes with that as opposed to that having to be something that you
Yeah.
now have to go add on later because everybody wants it, right? Why not just deal with that right from the beginning?
Yeah. I mean, the lower of the Jedi Killer doesn't come with it, which I usually stick a real quartz crystal or a like a cracked marble in there or something of the sort.
Mm,
They had a cool effect.
wonderful. Um, so do you? So you've done a lot of his stuff and then done chassis designs for him. Do you do that for other companies as well, or do people send a saber to you and then you design a chassis for that. Now that you've done it for this particular saber, you now have it available.
Yeah, usually how it works, I think for Kim as well, is
The ones we've
oh,
taken on, they're almost all of them are unique.
Mhm.
Because some of
yeah,
the other hills that we have besides KY is actually Nevins, Space Junk
Mhm.
Sabers, and they're all unique whenever we get to them. Like,
Mhm.
okay, we got the basic inner diameter maybe, but the length, what playing room we got for each hilt, it's different.
Right,
So
right,
it's a
right,
new puzzle each time.
right, right,
and
right.
I think the fun of it is the creativity part. So like hilts like the Jedi Killer and I have a basic chassis that I've made for those, but they will change a little bit each time with specifications.
Mhm. Those are more like customer specifications, like if they want something
Yeah,
different.
well, I mean, we'll happily try and add whatever people want if, and, like again, if it's possible,
If
Right,
it's possible.
right.
which we'll
Now,
try and make it possible.
getting back to KY a little bit here, does he say anything about how is it that he's able to promote himself and market himself from Taiwan being such a distant place and really get his name out there to where someone like me in California is looking up his work?
It's the Facebook groups, like Vader's Vault and the Star Killer group, and he's creating great products that have been around for a couple of years at a fantastic price. You can't like argue with a custom hilt built for $300-$400
Right.
price tag on there. Um, so I think a lot of it's groups, and I think a lot of it's word of mouth too.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like,
pretty
hey,
much
I,
how I
I
came
bought this.
across his. It was just a post on I forget which group now. It's just a post on there, and it was the Jedi Killer. It's like I just like the feel of it, the
Yeah,
the
that's how
the
I got one.
grittiness of it.
Right. Right, right, right. Yeah, I think that's how I saw it. It just like you were saying, I like the gritty, exposed look of it, and it's how unique it was from just about anything else I had seen on the market. And then I don't know if it was one of your guys' video, but I saw the chassis video that somebody had done to go with it. And all the like I said, I'm a sucker for anything that lights up and sparkles. So, as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay. I literally I contacted him and then I contacted you guys to find out if you were open for install because he suggested you. And then when I found out you were open, I contacted him back and put my money down.
Yeah, no,
um,
it's a fun chassis. Like I said, I think I've done. I can't count how many Jedi Killers I've done, but it's more fun each time, and the chassis changed a little bit each time, uh, and it just keeps getting better. I think.
right. Now, for you guys personally, because you do all these installs and you have all these cool creative ideas, how do you decide what's going to be on your personal saber? Like, do you guys
Oh
have
gosh.
one saber
Everything.
that's your saber that you take out when you go out, or do you? Oh, it's Thursday night, so I'm grabbing this guy, or Friday night, I'm grabbing this one.
I'm gonna be ashamed to admit, but most of my sabers after I install them sit on the shelf over here.
Same.
I don't take them out anywhere.
You don't go to
um,
cons or anything.
I you know I
No, not me.
want to. I've been invited to a bunch with my friends and stuff, but I'm a little bit socially awkward sometimes, and I don't know. It's a anxiety thing for me.
All right.
That's too many
Well,
people.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I can get it. When I had well, we have a small storefront here now, but we had a bigger storefront in downtown Fairfield, and I used to call our store the Island of Misfit Toys because if you didn't
Yeah.
feel comfortable anywhere else, we could all be in this space feeling uncomfortable together.
I mean, that's like probably the best promotion you could ever do for your company. Let's be honest. Like everybody feels like an outcast.
Right,
Like maybe I'm just like friends with a lot of outcasts. But I think we all want a place to fit in.
right, right. So, do you guys have other companies or other chats? I mean, obviously, I know you do them for all different companies and stuff, but are there other favorites of yours or ones that like really stick out in your mind because of how challenging it was, or maybe one that came out like in your head you thought it was gonna be possible, but it ended up coming out better than you thought you could do it?
That's the high ground for me. That's a recent one that I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally stuffed it with everything that I got. One of the videos that I sent you guys, but
Kim's chassis for that
it's this
made
hilt
me
right
rethink my life.
Ooh.
here. But
Hey Metzo, do you have that video for the Obi-Wan? An Obi-Wan video?
I
So
did. I sent that. Yeah.
I think what's fun about being able to design our own PCBs and stuff like that, it lets us throw those accent lights in a lot of places that aren't accessible to people.
Right.
Because I could, me and Kim could design a board. See, like those little fins up on the chamber?
Right,
Those are
right.
actually PCBs that have LEDs in them.
Oh wow.
Oh, here, let me find a battery for you.
So it gives us, I think that's like the fun of it is like, I know Kim too, is like the design aspect of it is the exciting and fun part to try new stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's the
Right.
longest part of it. And like when
Whew.
Gary mentioned, once it's done, it just kind of sits on the shelf. It's just
Right.
all the time is on the
Oh, look at that.
designing this thing. Oh, I got one of the sticker for the battery.
Oh, nice. It looks good.
Yeah, somebody suggested it, and I was like, all right, that's cool.
Wow,
Better
that's
for
so
vids.
cool. That is absolutely amazing.
But
Yeah, like it's so funny. Like a lot of the stuff people hardly ever see it. It's inside your Saber, but just knowing you have it, it's kind of like
Well,
knowing you've got this, super hot rod engine underneath the hood of your car.
yeah, but it's like, I think in the last, I'm trying to think when the first Saber I built. When did COVID start? Was that 2-3 years ago?
Yeah,
Because that's
yeah,
when I
yeah.
really started
Yeah.
doing my own stuff. And I think I'm in the same boat as Kim and Joe. Is like somebody gave us a price on an install, and I said, "Yeah, I can't pay that. I'm broke and cheap," and so we just do it ourselves.
like I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. So I think like the trend I've seen since I've started is there's a lot more going into chassis now. When I first started, it was a lot of black. It was just black tubes inside. It was a black.
Right,
It was
right.
a black tube or white tube,
Well,
and it's
to me,
really
that
cool to see like open it up and there's something kind of like more in universe. There's something like special about it because you're gonna open it up and you're gonna take out the battery and change it, but it's
Right.
also like an extra wow factor. You open it up and it's like, holy crap! There's
Right,
like
right.
there's lights everywhere and cool designs and stuff like that.
yeah, to me that broke the immersion, just opening it up and also black tubes. To
Yeah.
David
me,
Saber says, check
have
out those spinning PCBs.
I just
Hey, why
sent
don't you explain to
him a
people
bunch
what a
of those.
PCB is for those that may be uninitiated?
So like think of it as like your Hillside.
Mm-hmm.
Your
the
this
connectors.
is like your board. Like this is a
Right,
Hillside
right.
connector that Kim designed. So
Right.
instead of using standard boards, we make everything pretty much in house, and like that's what all those LED strips are. So like there's an LED
They're
strip
little
that I
printed
think,
circuit boards. That's what
Yeah.
PCB means, and they have the LEDs on there. I've made ones that have LEDs and buttons
Mm-hmm.
to be in one board, so it fits it's the space that I want, or lights
Right.
up a button above it.
Wow.
oh, and I saw Ike say how much our installs cost, and of course, I always feel like there's a lot of installers that are like afraid to kind of throw out their ballpark prices.
Right.
Mostly we deal with Profi. We design all our own chassis. Most of the time we don't install other people's chassis just because that's the fun part of it for us. But usually our installs, from a more basic install to a full blinky install, run between, what did you say, Kim, $400 and $550?
Yeah, yeah.
That's absolutely amazing. I mean, you're gonna expect to pay that for just a basic NeoPixel install.
Yeah, well, that always seems silly to me. Like, I don't know how much people. I don't know how much people charge an hour. I don't know what other installers charge either, but I think that price will scare a lot of people away. And if it's a basic already designed chassis and you can install it within an hour or two, that's
Oh yeah,
you're
you
making
don't want to play
$300
around.
an hour.
You got to be careful. Ike is a prolific Saber. So when I saw him ask the question about how much you charge, I was like, oh man, you guys are going to be Like you're gonna have your schedule lined up, dude. He's gonna have just saber after saber lined up for you.
Yeah, like we'll take it. We're happy to do as many sabers as we can, but we all have full-time jobs, so this is a
Yeah,
fun
we
hobby
can't
for
take too
us.
much. Yeah.
Like
Right.
there's only so much we could take. Even with our Etsy stores, which I think is funny because I pushed Kim so hard to start an Etsy store. We didn't plan on selling any of the PCBs we
No.
make or anything. We make
Right.
them all for personal use, and we're like, you know, hopefully people could put them to use. So let's throw them up there too. So
Right.
I hope people could build their own sabers. I don't want to install your saber. I want you to install your own saber.
Right. 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 So do you each of you guys have your own individual Etsy page, or do you have like one collective page, or both?
We each
Yeah,
have our own
separate ones.
separate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that like Kim sells his designs. I think Kim's better at keeping up on it than me. I'm pretty lazy.
I don't keep much on there, but it's just when I find time every other day, I post something on there when they finish it.
Right. Right. And you guys have a Facebook page as well, right?
Mhm.
Yep, I think it's at Cantina Designs.
Wonderful. So if let's say somebody messages into the canteen and says, "Hey, I'd like to get an install done." How do you guys between the three of you decide who's going to do that install?
We all see the messages and we
Mhm.
go, "Who's got an opening? Does
Right, right,
anyone have
right.
time?"
So it's not like a competitive thing where you're like, "Oh man, Kim took the
No.
last three. That
No.
bastard, he's taking all the
No,
jobs."
I'm the last one to say that. I
Usually
got a
it's us like
full-time job, 2 kids, so I can't take too many.
Right, right,
usually
right,
it's
right.
us like come on man, this is a cool install. You take it. No, you take it. You take it.
That's how he usually
Like we
gets
all
me.
we all want to take it, but it's like we're looking at what we have, and we do like to do our own personal installs. That's where we kind of get experimental with stuff. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Right,
Like that's where I could throw in something stupid in a saber. If it doesn't work, I'm okay with it.
right. It's yours.
Yeah.
Right. Have you guys had to have you guys ever done like a George Lucas and like had to invent something new because it just didn't exist the way you envisioned it in your head?
All our PCBs.
The PCB. Yep.
All
That
pretty much all the blinkies and all that stuff you see in all the sabers are all um,
It was
are
born out of that.
made. Yeah, are made for like, hey, I need this here, so I'll make
right.
it so it fits
It's
there.
filling a space. We need to. I think we're both in this sickness. It just we see an empty
It's a
space.
sickness.
We have to put something in it. It just looks empty.
Right.
Oh man, I see Brian Connor, Sam, and so a bunch of our friends. I'm sure you know Brian Connor, who's like pretty much the ultimate in my
He's
eyes,
the
and I think in a lot
sage
of people's eyes.
of
He's like,
perfect.
yeah, the sage.
He interprets for the prof.
Yeah. And Sam of Shadowfoil, who's probably like the coolest
Woohoo!
dude ever.
I have my child saber up there on the shelf, not
I
installed
love
yet.
that thing.
Oh
That's
yeah,
one
I
I
have
need to
mine
get
too.
installed soon.
That thing is honestly, that's probably the most well thought out chassis I've ever done in my life that I've installed.
Really? I
It
was gonna say
is,
because that type of saber, I mean, you guys must get everything from. I mean, there I can't see any room. You can't even put your finger in there. Like I don't know where you guys are installing things. You must have like a Harry Potter magic cloak that's
I'm,
hiding things.
I'm telling you, Sam's child chassis, every aspect of that is designed so perfectly to run like each individual wire in the right
Mhm.
spot. I think I actually enjoyed like doing a difficult small install.
Wow.
That's not what you said with the Y3.
Uh, yeah, Kim's Y3 chassis was my eye-opening chassis that pissed me off more than anything in life. Is the Yoda
That pissed me
chassis.
off too.
Now, have there been projects that you guys like I give up?
No, I don't think I've
No,
hit that yet.
Right,
I don't
right.
think so.
Again, like Kim said, it's a sickness.
right.
It really is a sickness.
I mean, not
I will lose sleep over thinking about where I could stuff things.
Right.
it's not exactly giving up. It's just walking away from it, and then somewhere along the line, middle of the night, like crap, that's what I could do with it.
Right,
It's horrible.
right. Especially with your mind, you've got to get it off of the project for a little while, and then it'll
Mhm.
refocus, and the answer shall come to you.
Yeah, I'm in construction, so sometimes I'm at work and I'm like, I'm gonna when I get home, I'm gonna go do that. Like I thought of the solution. I have one I'm working on now that I cannot figure out spacing for wiring, and I'm sure it's gonna pop up in the next couple of days for me in my head.
Well, that will be exciting to see. How many projects do you have on? How many projects do you guys have on your table right now, waiting each?
Uh,
Hours or
yeah. Customer health, I have maybe 10 or 12
I
in
think I
shop
have
right now.
4.
Wow. Wow.
But
So that
again, we always set expectations and say, hey, what we're gonna like, especially longer builds where it's from the ground up. Designing PCBs especially adds longer time to the builds and stuff like that.
right. Now, Kim, does this and I don't know if this your situation, Gary, but I did specifically hear Kim mention having 2 kids. And then you also talked about having a regular 9 to 5 job, and then you do this kind of as a hobby. Does it get hard for you at any time? Do you ever get like in the zone where you're just working on something? You're like, oh my god, dude, like I've spent way too much. I'm neglecting my family at this point. Is it hard for you to balance all of these things?
No,
No,
I
he's
just
busy
don't give up
playing
sleep.
Elden Ring.
That's just lately. But
Just playing
no, I
on Elden
usually
Ring.
trade in sleep. Um,
Right.
because when the kids they're little, they're only going to be little ones.
Right.
So whenever they want me, I'll go to them. So
Right.
most of the work is after they go to sleep. So if I get into a role
Mm.
with an idea or a design or whatever, I'm trading in sleep. I'm working tomorrow morning with a little less hours of sleep.
I've got messages from Kim at like 2 a.m. He's like, what do you think of this? I'm like,
I think you should be sleeping, bro. Yeah, and
And
what
I
about you,
realize
Gary?
what time it is after I send it. Like, oh crap! Sorry,
oh,
dude.
I keep seeing Cam from Reaver's Arsenal. He makes a bunch of our fonts for us too, so
Hmm.
Oh, fantastic.
he's commenting on there.
What about you, Gary? Do you have children or other family obligations?
I am not responsible enough for
Uh,
that.
or maybe you're responsible enough. Um, yeah, so that does make it challenging. And with KY, going back to KY Sabers, do you know does he have any plans in the next year or two for things that he wants to try or develop, or what's coming up for the future of KY lightsabers? And what does
Getting
KY
inside,
stand for, anyways? Is that his name?
yeah, it's his name. So Kevin Yu.
Okay.
So he actually was talking about this. We bounce, excuse me, ideas regularly, and getting inside his head, I feel like sometimes I'm getting inside Kim's head, where I'm in the head of a like wild man. He comes up with so many different cool ideas, um, but he has a family as well.
Right.
So sometimes this is a fun and is a job as well. So this is a hobby for him. I think we kind of bonded over that as well,
Right. Right.
where we're
Right.
finding time to do stuff we love. So he does have a couple new designs that he wants to try to work on. That he actually sent me a thing that he's super excited to share in the next couple months, but he's still trying to like catch up on backlog. I know he's booked out a couple months in advance just for making his hilts.
Right. 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 Yeah. So there's things that he wants to try, but doesn't necessarily know if he can get the time to get to it.
Yeah, but again, his designs are one of a kind. So I'm personally super excited. Like I showed it before, but his brass SK that he just came out with, this is the first one he
Yeah.
made, the prototype. It's
That
just
is
stunning.
gorgeous.
I mean, SK is notorious. It's supposed to be a thrown together saber.
Right.
And when he sent it over and I got it in the mail, I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I have one of his normal SKs,
Right.
and those are fantastic and probably my favorite SK out of the 15 I own, I swear.
Right.
But the brass SK is probably it's stunning. So
Right.
I'm afraid to see what he comes up with next for my wallet.
Me too. Now that I know of him. So what about you guys? What do you guys is it just kind of plugging away doing what you're doing? Do you have any ideas for the next few years that might take you in a different direction? Or is it just you just kind of grooving on doing the installs?
Give me a break, man. I just finished those 4 PCBs. That literally
No,
drained me. That Obi-Wan, that high ground one.
yeah. I
It was
think
well worth it.
I think it's funny, Joe. Joe still can't get in because he's Joe, which is he's
The
like the
other
daddy
SK
of the
addict.
cantina. That's what I keep calling him. He's the cantina daddy. He's the one that introduced me to Kim, but
Oh,
he's
yeah.
the he's the one that got into SKs. So I know he's flipping out over the brass one right now.
It's
But
actually my first SK that I met Joe with. It
Oh
was a
wow.
cheapy one I got off eBay. Oh, not eBay, Etsy.
Mhm.
Spaz Bros. And I was trying to put the pins on there and just messed up. And Joe just nonchalantly put more in there.
cantina daddy hashtag. Oh, that's my favorite thing ever.
But yeah, just we've been friends after that, and then introduced me to Gary, and here we are.
Yeah, I think I bought one of your chassis and then asked you, "How can I make a chassis?" I think that's literally how we met. Was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, your chassis is pretty cool, but how can I make one?"
And then later he found out that, I mean, he admitted that he hated it.
Yeah, well, it could be better.
And a friendship was born.
Pretty much. I think our whole group we probably do better on your After Dark show because I think we're a bunch of bad mouth.
No,
I
I
don't know how
can't
to
do that on
explain
my end. I get too busy.
that.
You
Plenty of
guys
that
are
for me.
welcome on.
Anytime.
If you can stand the late night time slot, you guys are welcome to come on after dark. But keeping in mind that is the 18 and over show.
I've watched a bunch of yours. I'm aware, and I like it.
Oh, thank you, thank you. All right. Well, as we're coming up near the end here, do you guys have any advice maybe for young people who might be interested in installing, but they don't know where to get started, or maybe they feel a little overwhelmed by it?
There is
Yeah,
no stupid question.
and also you can do it, and it's a lot easier than you think.
Yes.
Hmm.
And
I
I think that's the one thing I try to like stress to everybody, especially like a single blade, no chamber, and all that stuff. Start simple. You can do it.
mhm.
Right.
It's a lot easier, and you'll save a lot of money. Like up until recently, I was using the same $30 solder station that I started with, and I started with a 3 foot table and a couple wires.
Right. Fantastic.
I mean,
What
Like,
about
the
you, Kim? Any
resources are
thoughts?
out there. It's I basically YouTube the crap and Google the crap out of everything.
yeah,
Right.
I knew nothing about 3D design, 3D printing, PCB design before this hobby. I didn't know how to
Mhm.
solder before this hobby, but all
Wow.
the
if you have
resources are
any
out
questions, talk to Brian Connor or Ben Stahl.
there.
Especially if you have CFX questions, go to Ben Stahl.
Oh
He's the
God, yeah.
CFX guy.
Right.
Um,
And I know there's a
for
ton of support groups out there. I mean, there's groups specifically just for Profi boards
Yeah,
and
just ask questions. That's like the
mhm.
Yep.
biggest thing.
Brian helped me out with this one. I think he opened my mind with subblades.
With
You mean?
sublays was that
So
Uh,
that's all the blinky strips you see.
right?
That's separating them all up.
Oh,
think of it as a separate blade. So you got the main blade,
right, right,
and
right.
then Profi considers accent lights as its own blade. So
Oh,
for each of those blades, you can assign its own style. That's why
mm.
you see those different activity on them.
Patterns and
Yep.
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, wow. See, that's so cool. Trade secret, trade secret.
I don't know what's
I
out
don't
there,
think
man.
we have any
It's
secrets.
not secret at all.
I think like especially what I've loved about Kim is like I'm gonna yell at everybody to do their own stuff, and Kim yelled at me, and Joe yelled at me to yell at Kim, and
Right.
vice versa. So it's like this big
The circle of
this love
life.
triangle that happened.
Uh,
Um,
More than once,
so I
unfortunately, Joe says.
So I think the thing is do it yourself. You could totally do it yourself. Like it's a lot easier and a lot cheaper, and there's so much support. And if you have any questions, there's like the groups you said, if you have questions, we'll try and help you too. Just message us. I don't care. I'll spend as much time as I have available to try and help you if I know. If not, I can refer you to somebody else that can help you if it's something that I can't figure out. Like Brian.
It's usually Brian.
Or Ryan or Ryan Burnt. If you have 3D printing questions, go to Ryan Burnt because
there you go.
He's like the 3D printing guru that has helped us with all of our printers.
It's actually very fulfilling to finish your own build.
Yeah. So I'm sure after seeing all these other builds, have you ever done a build for someone you're like, oh man, I don't want to give this back to him?
Every single one.
Every one of them.
the one you showed on your intro video for us. So there was it was like a cross guard. It didn't have the 3 blades, but it was a hilt.
Yeah.
It kind of looked like a sword. And when I got that in, I was like, I'm really not sure about this. Like it looks nice. It's a beautiful hilt, but I'm really just like, there's something off about it. And then I was like, space wise, I'm like, I can't fit anything in there. And then I honestly probably spent 2 months designing like something cool to fit in there. Okay. And when it was done, I was like, this is the best hilt I've ever seen in my entire life. I was like, I don't know what I was tthinking before. Like, I didn't like it. Now it's my favorite hilt I've ever done.
Right. That's super cool. Well, hey guys, I have learned absolutely a lot more than I thought I would. This has been an amazing interview. I want to remind people to check out KY Lightsabers. I know they have a Facebook page. I don't know if he has. I think he does have a regular website as well.
No, he doesn't have a website. He runs everything off his Facebook page. So if you want to, he'll message his Facebook page directly. Keep in mind the time difference. So I think I'm in the Midwest, so he's 13 hours ahead of me.
Yes. Yeah.
So there's a
He's
time
in
difference.
a whole nother part of the world. But I know for me, he was very responsive. As soon as he saw the message, he got back to me.
Joe, I'm surprised he unblocked me.
So please check out KY Lightsabers. Check out all their unique designs. The Cantina. Where can people learn more about the Cantina?
Go to our Facebook page. We do have a TikTok that we upload some videos to, but it just gets posted on our Facebook page. Yeah. But if you do @Cantina Design, it should come up to our Facebook page.
Beautiful. You can go and fanboy out at all the beautiful flashy blinky lights and have fun. I went over there. I was excited. Your guys' installs are absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to get the saber from both Kevin and then from you guys.
I'm excited to do it for you.
Thank you. It's so funny because I own a saber store, and so I spend so much time on this side trying to make other customers happy, and just to see that smile when they spark up their saber for their first time is absolutely amazing. So it's fun to be on the other side of the process now.
That's why I'm trying to send Kim my installs for my personal install so he could do something. He won't do it though.
Try to push that high ground on me. No, I'm done.
I've been trying to send him my high ground for a couple of weeks. He won't do it for me.
Well, Gary, Kim, and Joe, who has been here in spirit and in the comment box, and Kevin, who is in Taiwan, I want to thank you guys so much for spending time with us and our audience. Everybody, it looked like on the comments on the side, we're having absolutely a ton of fun. And we look forward to hearing from you again. And I know I'm going to be talking to you guys because I'm excited about my saber. So thank you guys so much.
Anytime, man, just yell. Seriously.
All right.
Thank you.
I will definitely do so. Thank you.
All right, take care.
Good night.
was enjoying that music.
I know, dude. That was
I was like,
sexiness on a stick. Holy goodness, dude!
Sexiness on a
And
stick.
did you see the weathering? Like, I didn't even talk to them about the weathering that they
Yeah,
did.
that's why like I wanted to do some close-ups and scan across it for people to see because it looked really, really cool.
Oh, that was so much fun. I am so excited. This is going to be. I have to wait till the Saber will be done in August, and then it gets shipped from Taiwan out to these guys, and then, however long it takes. So hopefully, I'm hoping by Thanksgiving or Christmas to have
That's
a Saber.
exciting.
Woohoo!
I'll be
All
hopefully
right.
getting my first Saber soon too.
Yes.
I didn't get to come over today, but
All right. Well, you're gonna start off with one of these basics, but I'm telling you, dude, like, you start saber collecting, you have no money for drugs. You just start saber collecting, and you'll never have to worry about money for anything ever again.
Ike says I'm going to be sending my empties to these guys.
I knew it. I knew as soon as Ike asked for a price, dude. This guy has got more saber. This guy's bedroom is a saber shop.
Is
And in
that
fact,
so?
Ike
Okay.
won the very first free lightsaber from us, and then
Oh, that's cool.
Little did I know that he owns like 79 of them.
Okay, as somewhat of a noob to the actual lightsaber building community and like being more into it. So when they say empties, they mean the hilt without a core.
Yes, hilt with nothing inside.
Bat Mike, drugs would be cheaper. That's possibly true, depending on the drug. I'm guessing. I don't
Right.
really know.
So there's a lot of people. Some people will tell you and it really depends. When you're first starting out, a lot of people want the saber with everything in it because you just want to get out there and play, right? But as you
Mhm.
start saber collecting and you start meeting these fantastic installers like the people at the Cantina who are able to do like all those cool little things, a lot of people get into buying the sabers empty and then having that installed by somebody else as opposed to
Mhm.
a factory install because then you
It's
don't get all
really
the cool
Yeah.
stuffs.
That's exciting. That's fun. I only have 12 sabers now. I don't even have my first technically.
No, only have 12 sabers. Dude, I had a saber. Well, actually, technically, right now, I still don't own a Neo Saber. So I had a saber shop for like 3.5 years before I got my first Neo Saber, and then I abruptly broke it in like 2 weeks.
It's
So
not like
I'm
hey,
without
I
a
broke
Neo
yours
right
I broke yours that you let me borrow a lot faster.
now.
Like the night I came home, guys, I broke it.
Hey, you know what? These are meant to be beat up. That's why I have my personal comment.
Well, it was more not that I beat it up. I accidentally stuck the vacuum charger into it because it looked exactly like it and too much wattage. Fried it.
So yeah, so this is my combat saber. So when I'm doing light combat, this is a design that I've. But there's no sound or anything. It's just a stun saber.
Yeah,
so when
but
I'm
still,
fighting,
nice.
stun. Oh, there's another piece of terminology for you. A stun saber means one that's just a light up only. It does not make noise or.
Versus
do other
combat
things.
saber that has the fonts and stuff with it.
Right.
I know that term too. Font.
Yeah.
That's so good.
All right. So, hey, I want to remind everybody, please visit kybercave.com. We have tons of sabers there. We have lots of other merchandise, as well as saber chopsticks and keychains and earrings, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
Lots
William
of
says
good
I'm getting
stuff.
to be that way myself. All right, well, next for you guys, we do have a video from Kevin Hogan this week that is ready for you.
Woohoo! California Comic-Con report or Adventures with Kevin.
Yes, so enjoy.
Woohoo!
Hello everyone, this is Kevin Hogan from Northern California with another episode of California Comic-Con Adventures. This weekend, May 27th to the 30th, was Fanime 2022. This one finally returned to San Jose Convention Center after its break from COVID. Now, many of you may have been calling it LineCon after the Clear Pass system unfortunately failed on Friday, and a lot of us couldn't get our badges processed there, so we had to come back on Saturday to get those badges processed there. The line wrapped in both directions from one end of the block to the other around the convention center there, but a lot of us eventually did get our badges on Saturday there, and some people did get in Thursday and Friday there. But there was so many great friends and people to see there in their awesome cosplays. The vaccines were required there, and we even did unfortunately see one vendor did have to leave there on Sunday because I guess their staff didn't have their proper vaccines, or they weren't keeping their masks on during phone calls or something, it seems, so they had to leave early, it looked like. And we did see lots of vendors there. There were some panels going on. 5th Gen Not Pokemon group was telling their jokes as usual. It was a great fun time there. Seeing some other panels going on there. Unfortunately, other things like the cosplay contest, cosplay chess weren't happening this year. They had a few less events that would have been crowded for COVID, spacing things out there. But otherwise, it was still a great, tremendous turnout there. It was really fun. Definitely had a great time seeing all this cool stuff there. For those of you interested in other upcoming events there, definitely want to check out the SAC Toy Con coming up there on Saturday, June the 4th or Sunday, June the 5th. And also Ohana Comic-Con in Woodland on Sunday, June the 5th coming up there. That'll be fun to check out there. Well, hope you enjoyed the picks and enjoy the clips.
Cool.
I
Yeah.
was like getting down.
I know. I was like, and then
walk
so I
in
threw,
the-
I threw that together last minute when I threw some music underneath it, and didn't realize at the end had several videos of people dancing with the other music, and I was like, oh no, now my music's like clashing with that music.
That's
Oops.
okay.
It's all
It
good.
all
That was fun though.
It all works out. I'm happy about that. I heard about the COVID is no joke. So if you were going to cons, make sure to have
Mhm.
all of your stuff in line.
All the requirements that they have for vendors and attendees.
Right. I would suggest
yeah.
checking it out early and seeing what each individual con requires. Says some people are requiring you to upload your card advance of the actually going out there. So make sure you know what your con is requiring of you.
Reminds me of when last September we went to Hawaii, and it was very, very strict
Right.
to fill out, for all of the requirements that you have to be able to go.
Right.
To bypass quarantine. If you didn't fill out the stuff, you'd have to quarantine for 2 weeks when you got there.
Wow.
And so we were able to either upload your vaccination info or a negative test that's within 3 days of traveling.
Wow.
So it was
Yep.
it was a lot. That I got, it just kind of reminded me of that, where if we didn't have our requirements set, we'd be in quarantine when we went.
Right.
And then here you have all of these cons that they're basically Saber Daddy, Cantina Daddy, Gary. Hashtag Cantina Daddy. That if you know vendors and attendees being asked to leave because of the requirements, so just make sure that if you are comfortable with the requirements, that you get those sorted, and if you can't read the requirements, you can't go,
Right.
which kind of sucks. But
Right.
it is what it is, and that's how it is just right now. Hopefully, one day we won't have to worry about it that like as much as we have to right now.
Right. And we'll be able to go to Tennessee and see William.
Yeah. Yes. I was like, well, I'll see you guys.
Dude, I'm telling you, dude, I want to like convert like a small little RV thing enough to throw like merchandise and like 3 bodies in there and just travel the country and just hit con after con.
Yes.
That is
So, and
my
everyone
dream.
watching, we are only 23 subscribers away from the next giveaway. So share.
Don't
Tell
forget,
people
every
about
50
us.
subscribers, that's a new
Yes.
saber that we
Every
give out,
50
yo.
subscribers, we do a Saber giveaway, and we are 23 away from the next. So that's very exciting. And just to remind everyone, in 2 weeks, I will not be here. I'm very sorry. My husband and I are going on our anniversary trip, which was planned before I joined the channel. So
Right. Because
I
if she had joined after, then we'd say, no anniversaries. Nobody gets to have any joy around here. It is work all the time, damn it.
all right. And so last but not least, we do have our talk of the town.
Yes, and I want to
Thank
thank
you, Ike.
everybody for tuning in tonight. Our fantastic flow artist, who I cannot remember the name, Sherman. Was it?
Finlay Axesplitter.
Woo! Finlay
And
Axesplitter.
My it's
Stewart.
one more word and my brain is blinking. Oh my goodness, I can't.
Thank
believe
you,
I'm
James
blinking.
Kaiser, as always, for bringing us the fantastic flow of the show. Thank you to Mr. Kevin Hogan for your California Comic-Con Adventures report. And, of course, we want to thank Gary
That's Ike.
and what was that? And Kim and Joe at the Cantina, and also Kevin with KY Lightsabers
Yeah,
in
thank you so much.
Taiwan. It has
And
been a
congratulations,
fantastic
Ike.
show.
They just celebrated. Ike just celebrated his 29th anniversary. So
Wow! Congratulations, Ike.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what
All
you
right,
don't hear
thank
about
you.
too often.
Thank you so much to everybody for tuning in tonight and hanging out with us. That was a great show, great interview. And now we shall end on the talk of the town. See you guys next time.
Peace.
To figure out who we had to talk to about your light color, your lightsaber color.
Oh, well, good guys are green and blue, bad guys are red. That's just the way it works.
No purple left?
You might get purple.